Well, hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in. This is going to be my first go at this, and I hope that you'll join me in the weeks leading up to the primary, which is on May 5th for Senate District 31. This is the most competitive district in the state of Indiana, and right now we have an open seat. I'll get into all of that, but I want to start with what I think is the most important a piece of information I can put in front of you, and that's why I'm the best candidate, the best Democrat for this seat. And that starts with 15 years inside the legislature. I've spent my professional life in the Indiana Senate, not visiting it, not watching it on a screen, but inside it for over a decade. I was in the caucus room, the Senate floor, the hallways, back offices of the State House, at my own desk, researching, studying policy, summarizing bills. I'm not being casual when I say that. Every single bill that was filed for the better part of the past decade came across my desk in some shape or form. Sometimes it was before it was even public knowledge that the bill was even drafted. And I want people to understand that what that actually means, because when folks hear policy director, they think, okay, he read some bills. No, I wrote the bills. I drafted the legislation. I built the arguments. I coordinated the strategy. 7 a.m. And to midnight. For conference committees. Was there the next morning, doing it all over again. I helped craft caucus agendas. I advised senators on floor votes. I was a person behind the curtain, making sure the work was done right. There is a learning curve to the legislature, and the process is intricate. It's unforgiving. And so let me give you some concrete examples, because this isn't abstract. I wrote the safe storage bill with Mark Stoops. He was the predecessor of current leader Shelley Yoder out of Bloomington. That was the very first safe storage bill filed in the General Assembly. Every advocacy group since has prided themselves on the safe storage bill across the country, made safe storage a centerpiece of their platform. Um, 2015, worked with Senator Tim Lannon, our leader at the time, to get concussion protections. And this past session, the medical debt bill that was Senator Cadora's, I remember researching and writing that bill with him, getting the wording exactly right. We had a really great idea that so many people were behind, and we knew it was strong public policy for the vast majority of Hoosiers. Um, and I'm proud of it. I'm very proud of it. It's the work you never see. And I say all of this because I want to demonstrate the depth and the breadth of what I bring to this race. Not just writing bills, not writing, amendments, coordinating with Republican committee chairs, their staff, uh, advocacy groups, and the subject matter experts, stakeholders in every political area imaginable to make sure we had the tightest, cleanest, most defensible language you could possibly put um, out there. And let me tell you something about being a Democrat in the Indiana State House. Getting a committee hearing on your bill, from the Republican supermajority is huge, huge undertaking. You have to bring your absolute A game, best foot forward, flawless language, airtight arguments. And if you don't, your bill dies. No one ever hears about it. I helped make these things happen at the State House. Since my time away from the Senate this year, I've watched so many of the ideas we seeded, all the issues kind of percolate to the surface. They've gained support and they've gained momentum from voters, constituents, people directly affected by these policies. And that's the thing. That's the thing about good public policy is it doesn't always announce itself with a press conference. So much of the real work at the State House happens behind the scenes. The bills you see passed, the arguments you see made on the Senate floor, those are formulated, crafted, vetted by legislative staffers long before anyone steps up to the microphone. And I was the policy director behind so much of it. I was behind a lot of wins, and honestly, there was a lot of silent wins, which to me is the best, because with a silent win, doesn't have to be a winner or a loser. It just is good public policy, and I was behind it. Why this race and why now? Of all the qualifications anyone can bring to the Indiana State Senate. I cannot think of a better foundation than this. 15 years advising the actual office I'm running for. 15 years of my life spent advising the role that I'm asking you to let me hold. Nobody in the current primary field can hold a candle to that experience, not one. And I don't want you to hear this as a career politician speech. That's not what this is. I want you to hear this as a person who mastered their craft, who absolutely mastered what they did, and is now taking that experience, channeling it directly into representing the district they want to serve. If you want to talk about a 360 degree view of the Indiana State Senate, the policy, the process, the politics, the people, that resume writes itself. And look, if I were choosing someone to hold an office or a job, I'd pick the person who already knows how to do it. And so here's the honest truth. I wrote a lot of good legislation in that building, good bills, good research, sharp talking points, great amendment ideas. And too many of them got filed away. You know, nobody followed through. So now it's my turn. I'm the one running for office. Now I'm out here shaking the hands and making the case directly to you. I'm Andrew Deslin, and I am running for State Senate District 31. Let's make some noise. Let's do this. Get out there, register to vote.